Time for some more roasting. Pepe laugh.
We'll see. Maybe. We'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, there might be a little bit of roasting. If I don't roast them, who will? And it's what they randomed into. They didn't sign up for this. They signed up, but they didn't sign up for this. Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to a Mahjong Sunday this time around. I am Curly, and for this segment, we're going to be watching my W League team's games that we did this week. I did not get to watch all of these earlier because I was hosting the main stream. So we got to see one of the games already. Actually, we got to see like 1.5 of the games. All right, so the first game we're going to watch markinore. Let's close these up. Effects display. And then we're only going to watch markinore's perspective. We'll just let this rock. We do know how this one goes, but for prosperity, we are going to watch the whole thing and kind of look at their perspective. Because we were kind of looking at everything holistically and kind of having our attention really scattered. There is one hand, though. We are going to open up the hands because it's delightful. Could have, doesn't keep the 2. Could have potentially kept that as a shape. Let's see, why not? Yeah, you probably have enough shapes. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you probably don't want to drop this. Like, if you're ever going to form out another shape, it's to go for here. So I can see that. Okay. Oh, drops the 4 now. Interesting. Or yeah, they decided to just cut that block. Not quite punished. I mean, kind of a little bit punished. Like that 7 pickup prevented them from making the 4s their pair potentially and going for like a flush as opposed to just, or not a flush, but a Tanyao. Instead of like having to use the north as the pair. But under Arichi, yeah, they just dropped Green Dragon. I can't imagine they're going to try to push anything here. Ooh, 8 makes it a little tempting. They can kind of Mawashi it for a little bit. Okay, yeah, I've dropped 5 of characters because it was already played by Baldcraft. Yeah, at this point, we're just full folding. The north is most likely very, very safe, and that can be one of our options once we run out of 100% guaranteed safe tiles. This hand could have been really sick if we weren't running away from it. Oh, I forgot to hit the add button. So you guys are getting hit with ads. My bad. Yeah, north just guarantees you get out of it. Oh, they're on like the 1 and 8 weight. That's right. I think this was a dead weight, if I remember correctly. But okay, you get to go into an East 2. A lot of honor tiles we're picking up, and like not really anything else. Okay, follow suit with Red Dragon. That's fair. Yeah, this is just an honor tiles purge, and kind of just hope that the middle tiles or all the number tiles just form out into something pretty good. We haven't seen the East played yet. Okay, Green Dragon gets picked up. Dropping 7. We're holding on to this East fairly long just because we haven't seen it yet. Ooh. Oh, interesting with the 3 drop. I guess it's fine. Yeah. I mean, you could try to give up the East now and like maybe you do something with it. But like you're already accepting the 4 over here and that's like kind of the sequence. You're hurting a little bit for pair. Yeah, I guess they're holding on to that East a little long, kind of like hopium. Or at least trying to deny it. Yeah, now they get rid of it. Although in this spot, not that con spot. Oh wow. I forgot about that. I've already forgotten like most of these games except for one really cool part. I guess I do. If I have the 3 in hand instead of this east, I guess I could drop the 3. You don't have any blocks for him besides this, so it's hard to want to like give up. Like you're never getting rid of 3/4, and then like you have to hold on to this entire shape to like get acceptance for it. There's like probably never a chance that this 4 is becoming your pair. Maybe if you pick up 7, you like get somewhere along here. You could drop 3, maybe. But yeah, I guess the 3, just to the nature that the 3. Or this 5/6 is holding on to letting you to accept the 4. Probably a thing. Oh, and also 4 was twice cut. So yeah, the 3 does look a lot less appealing. That's right. Oh, huge. Drops Dora. Scary. Well, now we have a pretty decent Yishan 10. Oh yeah, there's the slight punish. Now it looks like we're going to be committed to waiting on this 7 over here. Slam it. 7 of characters, and that's all we get.
Sumo.
Oh, yeah, we just sumo it. We're so good. We're so good at this game.
Sumo. Danyao. Dora.
It's a crime that we missed the Underdora, actually. Still, 14k. Nothing to sleep on. And we did get a dealer repeat. It was really good. Yeah, and we just like follow up with a bunch of Dora. This is sick. Markinore was playing really hot today. Oh, we got the triples on the 1s. That's right. Yeah, and we're just going to take some time, get rid of these dragons, and hope the rest of the hand forms out. I think I remember agreeing with this 2 drop. Just because like you still have the 3 acceptance over here. And like this is going to be your pair. And even if it like becomes a triple, you could potentially just like drop this and then the 1s become your pair. Yeah, especially, oh, that's right. Now that all the 3s are gone, this shape is a lot worse. You can still like get 6s. Oh, that was an amazing draw. Look at that. Look at that. That's so good. We're goated at this game. By we, I mean Markinore, but Markinore is on my team, so it's a we. It's like the royal we. We're just desperately trying to get our last tile to get into Tempai. Not much else going on with it.
Pong.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that's okay. That's a pawn to just get Tempai? That pawn was kind. Oh yeah, I remember being weirded out about this pawn because yeah, you're picking up 3 Dora, but you have no Yaku, and I guess it did put you in Tempai. So it was just a matter of like just getting Tempai, getting that extra step. Because like you did pick up the 5, so that works out there. So you're just holding on to dealer. Oh, but we gave it up. No, that's right. We gave it up in the last second. All right, so we're gonna look back at that. So in this spot, we can drop. We have to drop 6 to maintain Tempai, but against the Arichi player, it's been 9's cut, 9's Genbutsu, and all the 3s are gone because like it's right here, right here. This 6 is actually fairly safe, although against like of that late of Arichi, it might just be like a single Tonki and you're not quite sure. We haven't seen the 6s around at all. Yeah, they actually could have like I guess they just went for the 6 just to like guarantee they don't deal in and they can keep their lead. But they actually had a good reason to push this, just like on board. Because all the 3s are gone, so it's not going that way. The 9s, all the 9s are gone. So it's only single 6 weight that you're afraid of. To be fair, you don't see any of the 6s out there, so it could be a thing that could happen. Or like pair of 6, pair of something else, and you deal into that. I guess that is enough danger to warrant dropping it. Okay. Okay, I came back around on it. I respect this fold.
脳天的外れかターゲットへの軌道修正中
If like 1 or 2 of the 6s were also out, even if it wasn't against them, probably would have been a better, like, more reasonable to try to push Tempai or try to maintain it. Okay, we got ourselves a red 5, but that's it.
Pom.
Or Dragon Call? Oh wait, is this it? This is the hand.
Pom.
All right, so you see these 2 calls? We're gonna switch over to Zell's hand for 1 second. This was what Zell was cooking. He had all triples and like half outside as well with double east and red dragon. That's like by itself that's like 2, 3, 4, 5 Han already. That's just 5 right there. Crazy. But the scary thing, if we're gonna go back to Markinore, he has the 2 Souths as well, so he's going to be holding on to that the entire time. There is only 1 9 of characters out there that Zell can pick up to potentially win this hand. Unless they like decide to change up their weight. But that hand is just so freaking juicy, you're never gonna.
Come.
And they hit a con, and they actually hit to get like 3 more Dora on the east. Which is like, this was so much insane value. We were pogging out of our minds on the mainstream for this one. All right, it's hard for me to like accurately judge this hand because I know everything. And there it was. We picked up the final 9. So Markinore single-handedly denied Zell this monster of a hand. I was very happy with this outcome. Like, based off of the discards that Zell is doing, you're probably really suspecting a outside hand. So you're never getting rid of these. You're never getting rid of Souths. Like, you're okay with dropping these 6s. There's actually, like... No, you don't want to... Okay, you don't want to drop these. I was about to say, the 6 is a pair, and like the only way at this point you can maintain like trying to get to Tempai and like be safe or to continue to deny Zell is to hold on to the 6 and try to go for 7 pairs. You could drop like these or so, but they decided to drop the 6 just because they'll have like a back-to-back, and then after the Ricci, ooh, the green dragon was actually a little scary. Because, I mean, it is safe against Honimbo, but Zell is cooking. You don't know. They could have, like, pocket green dragons, and, like, you could have been deleted there. That was actually kind of scary. Well, there it is. If we had dropped, like, the north, we actually could have been 7 pairs, but at least now we know north is safe. Roselle got Tempai in the first row, and they just couldn't get anything. Well, like, Markinore was, like, completely shutting them down, like, single-handedly. But if I was Zell in this situation, I would be molding. I would actually be, like, on the floor, like, screaming at the heavens, why? Why have you cursed me so? Ooh. Oh, let's go. Green Dragon. We dropped Dora really quick. That's interesting. That north is Dora. But what else? I guess that's fair. What else do you cut? You actually maybe... If you want to be degenerate, you could like maybe cut this block. Or like cut the 5 over here. You could like maybe cut this 5 and just go for this as like an open weight. And then potentially use single Tonki this north. But it is kind of degenerate. And we are in first place. We don't need to do it. And we already have like some value on it. Ooh. Okay, drop the 7. Huge. Okay, so now we have the 5 as our pair. We are... Okay, that puts us in Tempai. And we're just waiting on the 8 of Bamboo. Oh, we were 1 turn short from getting off of Baldcraft. Ooh, and then we swap it up to a single 9 Tonki weight. We're tricksy like that.
No.
We are tricksy like that.
That's Dorani.
And we get to be just big bully this game. You love to see it. Yeah, all the souths are gone, so we're probably going to get rid of ours. It's unfortunate that this is our double south hand. So interesting that they dropped the white drag. I guess if you're going to do it, you can do it now. And I don't remember if they do this or not, but there's an argument to hold on to the south until the last possible second if you can kind of form out the rest of your hand. But you don't really have your blocks complete yet, so... I actually don't know if I like this 2-drop. Because, like, yeah, you're holding on to, like, south as, like, a safe tile in your dealer, but... 2 just like cutting 2 just kills a decent amount of acceptance. Like you could have potentially been Sanchoku here. Like probably not. But like there's a level of, oh, we cut the 6 here. That's interesting. Oh, we got immediately punished. That's tragic. Yeah, okay, yeah, now because we eventually cut the south, and we just killed a lot of acceptance in the meantime. And we didn't even, like, cut the south at a point that was, like, beneficial for us. Compared to, like, any of the previous turns. Because it's not like anyone's in, like, Tempai, and that gave us, like, a save tile. Are we 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs? Maybe we're trying to audible? Oh, crap, that's right, we are auto-booting to 7 pairs. We haven't looked at the other hands, but there was a lot of 7 pairs potential in this table. Oh, wow, we actually are 7. That's right. We folded the 1s against the Ricci. Could we have actually... Let me actually go back on that. So we drop 6. And then they slam Ricci on the 8. And then we pick up an 8. 7 is like half Suji. It's like not a whole lot. Though they cut the 2s and 3s fairly early before they're Ricci, so they're probably not in 1s. So yeah. I mean, we are first place, so we're not really fiending to push this hand. And if you drop 1 bamboo, the other one will be safe as well. But it just goes showed right there, we could have been 7 pairs. There was also like, no, there wasn't quite. 4 pair was not safe, or 4 was not safe, because it could be on like a 2-3 of dots easily. Yeah, it looks like we're just gonna fold it out. We dropped the 2 and gave it to Zell though, even though it was like safe against Baldcraft. Bladcraft. Yeah, at this point, we're just full folding. There's like no way we get Tempai here. We could have been 7 pairs. Unfortunately. But we're actually perfectly okay with this outcome. Because dealer was not the one in Tempai, so the game's going to move along, and we are going to get our dealer. So that does work out pretty well for us. Nothing too much with this one. Interesting that you drop the 8 there. I guess it's fine. No, I don't know. I don't know if I like dropping 8 there over East. Cause like, yeah, it is your deal. Like, it is your East. You are on dealer for it, but it's already been like once cut. And this early cut is potentially keeping you off of like a Sanchoku over here, which is like probably not going to happen. But I see the argument for cutting it because you already have Dora acceptance with this 5, and like that's going to be like a pretty bad overlap. But I don't know if you cut it over East. I don't know if I agree with that. Yeah, we're holding on to East for a really long time. Cons on the 4s? Oh man, that makes our... That's right, they did this. Vladcraft being a complete degenerate. Okay, we got the 1 there. I guess like the goal is like we're gonna have the 7 be the pair. Ooh, okay, now we finally cut the 5. Ish on 10. Oh, and then Ricci. Okay, now we drop the East. I guess you're just keeping it as a safe tile. Maybe in this, but this is might just be Markinore's play style. If they do have this first place, unless they have like a banger hand, they're gonna hold on to these less efficient tiles to ensure some safety when shit hits the fan. Because on this Ricci, they like immediately got rid of the East. Well, I guess like the timings aren't really captured here. Because it's just like it's doing the draw discard. It's not actually showing how long each person took on their turn. And Honibu just draws it. Oh, that was a close 2-8. That was nuts. Doesn't get much off of it. Completely whiffs on under. You're not too sad for that as Markinore. Because like no one's real, like with these small hands, no one's actually in danger of taking your first. Ooh, we got North and South. North just one turn away from being able to call that North. We'll probably be able to get the next one. Ooh, so it's a matter here is do we call South and North when we get the chance, or do we try to force a Chitoy? If we get the South or the North first. Ooh, that's right. Now we're trying to go for a Toy. Yeah, because now we can call South and the North. And we're like immediately getting rid of the west or the 5 right there. Yeah, get rid of it before it gets too dangerous.
Beach.
Oh. I don't know if I like that 8 drop. I mean, it's still temp. What did we draw? We drew 5? We drew 5. And so instead we drop the 8? Huh. Were we just afraid to drop the 5? We weren't afraid to drop this 5. I don't know why we drop 8 there.
Beach.
I would have dropped like west here or something. Try to like maintain the 7 pairs, but like still keep myself open for calls. But they like didn't though. They didn't. The 5 didn't really change their plan. Because like they had the Chitoy potential like before, but they can also like they're in a great spot where they're not only Chitoy, they can call like Souths and Norths and like develop that way. Oh yeah, and we just pick up the South, and now we're just like big punished here. Yeah, because now instead, like, we could have just like called it one of these tiles to potentially draw it, and we'd be like concealed triplets even. Oh well. Neither here or there. Doesn't end up mattering for it, but I don't know if I like that one.
We can ask him later.
Yeah, if I remember to. Or if they watch the video and come in and like defend their position. I forgot to take a screenshot of it, otherwise I would, but I'm not going to go back for it because we're recording the YouTube video. Okay, we have another 7 pairs hand. This table was definitely a lot of Chitoi, but I don't know how much of it actually came into fruition. Okay, this was definitely like a Chitoi push. It doesn't even necessarily need to be Chitoi. It all depends on like if we get the last red dragon. Okay, under Ricci, we probably just like fold it out. Oh. It was probably actually 9 there. Because like I get the mindset of full folding because we're in first place. We don't want to deal it. But I'm just pointing out like the points where we could have been a little better. That is the point of this review. 9 was probably a way safer draw, but I mean, it worked out. Oh, wow. It actually really worked out. The only issue is that we don't know about these dots. So I don't even know if we're going to try to like push this hand. These dots are really hard unless someone else paves the way. Okay, yeah, 8 was fine. And then like double Ricci. Uh-oh, we're running. We're probably just running at this point. North was a fantastic one for us. And that's twice now where Zell deals into Honibu on their dealership for a Mongon. That's just how it be sometimes. Like, Zell wasn't able to get too much going, and the stuff that they could get were bangers, but they just couldn't close it out. The wall would not let them. 3 pairs. Maybe we can get the next. But otherwise, this hand looks kind of garbo, and we're just folding it. Ooh, red 5 was amazing. Okay, that was pretty good. Drops the 5. So the issue that we have with this hand is ideally we don't want to reach it because we don't want to lock our hand and like deal in. So we got to try to find a Yaku that we can Dama, and currently we don't have it. So this is looking a little hard right now. Okay, yeah. All right, I think they recognize that as well. Yeah, that 1 drop makes me feel like they recognize the position that they're in as well. They want to Dama, but they can't until they get their Pinfu set up. Although Zell conning those 7 of characters, try to get something big going. Oh, we have like a red dragon. Drop 7 first. Interesting. I am definitely noticing that markinore is holding on to these honor, like probably safe honor tiles. Okay, yeah, drops it. At least now we have Tenpai waiting for 3 and 6 of characters. Maybe we can close it out here. Yep, there it is. Just a nice little 3 Han hand actually, because we have 2 Dora. There we go, closing it out. Nice little 3,900. And there we go, markinore doing wonders for our team, giving us a nice 33 points. They haven't done poorly in any of their games, right? Let me look at their stats real fast. I'm not going to show them on stream because then it's going to be spoilers. Oh, their stats are not updated, but they were 16. I guess going into this weekend, they were positive 16. So that gives them like another bit for it. Neat. Okay, Lincolm ended up in 3rd on this one. We did see that on the main stream, but let's see how we got here. Oh, this hand's kind of nuts. Oh, okay. Chitoi chance? There are so many Chitois this weekend. Kind of nuts. Yeah, just drop that south. That's fair. Ooh, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs technically. They do have triples. If they wanted to ball extra hard, they could have like dropped the 1 and try to go for Tanyao 7 pairs, or drop the 4 to give themselves a slightly wider weight on 7 pairs. Oh, drop that 5. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, the issue is that like that 4, I don't really know how to like read this shape, because like we have the triples on the 4s and then the 5. That's actually a pretty good weight at the end if you don't have a pair otherwise, because then the 4s are option selecting to either being a triple or like a sequence and like your pair. Because like if you have like 3 4s and a 5, and that's like your last bit, you don't have your pair, you're accepting 3 to go for a 3 4 5 and a pair of 4s. Same side on the 6, and you're also potentially waiting for the 5 to have like a pair of 5s and then the triple of 4. So it's a pretty nice wideish weight. But it only works if you have no pairs, and we have plenty of pairs. So I don't know how to properly read that hand in that situation. I maybe would have cut. I think I like cutting the 1s. Yeah, okay. I actually really don't like that 5 cut, because now you're really cutting your door acceptance. So maybe I would have cut 1 here, just to like push yourself into Tanyao at least, and you could potentially start calling or put yourself into like 7 pairs. Oh, we just still hit it. Oh, wow. Yeah, because like now we're in a spot where, okay, I guess the 8s were twice cut. Well, I guess the 8 was only played by Matsumura after you played yours, so maybe you could have waited on it here, but you basically have the same weight at this point, but now you're losing out on the Tanyao bonus as well. And I don't know if I don't like this Ricci slam, because now we're locking ourselves into a Ricci with like no value and like a very rare like thing, because now we could draw like there are so many, we could just draw any random Tanyao tile and our like hand becomes a million times better. Or we could have waited and potentially gone for triples. Okay, we didn't eventually draw these like Tanyao tiles that I was talking about, but that we could have. We very much could have. Not that one though. Okay, Shimmer are gonna lock in 2 Dora right there. And we do not draw anything. So like, that would have proven my point. 9 was like technically a little better, but only by like 1 tile. It's not enough. Okay, there. I mean, to be fair, waiting on a 6 would be really hard. And like, yeah, we have to go through a full rotation before it actually plays out. But that's being results oriented. No, my line would have worked. No, sad. That's awful. You hate to see it. We could have had triples. We actually could have had triples this game. Instead, Shimmer's gonna sumo on us. For like nothing. All simps. 2 Dora. Still pretty good. I mean, yeah, I guess they had the foo for it to make it a little better. Oh, turn 1 owning the north wind. Good for them. Oh, and then they take the east. Oh no, we're dealing everyone. And everyone else got rid of our win seat. That's like less good. Okay, that's pretty good. That was a really good pickup. I don't know if I like that 8 drop. Cause like, it's either the 8 or like, I prefer if I'm gonna have like a floating tile or like a tile that's like not doing something. I'd rather it be disconnected from a sequence I already have. Yeah, there's an argument that like maybe you can get pure double sequence here, and that's like kind of the reward for it. That's actually probably, I mean, now that I'm talking about it, it's definitely easier to get the pure double sequence over here than it would be trying to keep the 8 and like potentially getting a Shanshoku. Because there's like a lot more tiles that need to go right. And like, what are you going to do else in the meantime?
Boom.
Okay, so all the 6s are, oh, nearly they're all gone. So this weight over here is like less good for us. And now they're calling tiles like crazy. Oh, we do have the triple now. Oh, we dealt into that? Oh no, what was... That's unfortunate. Oh, let me look at that one again. Okay. So... Yeah, that's just unfortunate. Because... Yeah, you just got hit. It's a little unfortunate. You're probably not thinking they're quite in Tenpai that quick. I mean, they did do 2 calls, but the only thing that you're like truly scared of is dots. They did overflow. They did overflow 1 set of dots, so maybe they're not flush. So there's like kind of danger, but there's like no better tile unless you're like gonna decide right here and now to be big coward. You could drop like this, but I'm not gonna make that read, so I don't blame you for not doing it as well. That's just unfortunate. Yeah, sometimes that happens. That's the game we play. Okay, well now we have a dealer around to try to turn it around. Ooh, and this is a Poggy's ones too. Oh, but this is like good and bad. We do have 2 Dora, which is very nice, but we're probably just gonna cut one. And we don't have a pair yet. We're headless. Oh, that was like the perfect one. Okay, so now we have our pair. If we form out the other way. Aw. We go 9. Is it ever cut 1 or 2 instead? Because like, yeah, this is being the pair. But it's kind of a hard wait, and we're trying to get like 5, and then like these 2 are potentially competing for the same tile on 3, so it's like less good. So like, do I even want this block over here? And this like terminal weight is basically the same as like holding on to like an 8-9 and try and figure out the pair somewhere else. I mean, it's probably less good. Yeah, that 9 is probably fine. Got punished. Huh. Yeah, we're still each on 10. And we probably are gonna have to drop a Dora. Kind of just like the nature of the beast at this point to like go for efficient weight. Okay, yeah, reach a slam on Dora. Hope to get the 1-4. Oh, we got Ipatsu? Nice. Whoa, they threw 4 there? What? How? Why? Okay, I have to... Okay. Normally I don't want to look at other players. Well, they dealt a 4 characters into dealer Ricci Ipatsu. With like 4 not being safe. What were they cooking? What do they have? They had no respect. That's what they had. They weren't even Tenpai, but they just were just pushing it. Yeah, okay, that's what it was. They just had no respect. That's all they had.
No.
Can we hit an Underdora for once in our life, please? Ooh, we got a red dragon start? Oh, no dream. Yeah, there's like nothing else. That's fine. That's right. Damn. Just hit. Let's go. Jaso, man, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a fun time watching our log review of our W League team.
Boom.
Ooh. Oh, geez. That's scary. That's very scary. Oh, God. I'm scared. Yeah, he's scared too. That's actually pretty okay. This is hard. Do you just completely run away like a coward? Yeah, that's honestly, that's reasonable. We still managed to maintain some semblance of an Ishan 10. Though we're gonna have to drop this, which is scary. 6 was fine. Like if we somehow get red dragon, okay. I'm interested to see what they do. Do we let it go by and decide to give up on the hand and have like 2 guaranteed discards and let someone else get hit? Or do we take it, drop the 5, which has not been proven to be safe at all? Did they skip the first one? Oh, they did. I didn't even notice that. That doesn't feel right. That does not feel right at all.
Fine.
That early though, and you have the pair in your dealer. You weren't up against White Dragon or the West Winds yet, right? Let me double check that. Yeah, like, oh, I think I snagged this. So I'm the degenerate that'll snag this up. And if I'm really fiending,
Calling
like I can either
when you have no pairs is a bit satch.
It's a bit, no, it's not that bad, honestly. Because you could you have the Dora. You could potentially single Tonki this, assuming no one else takes it. And even if they do, like, then you're just like cutting them off on it. It is a little scary if you decide to get off of it.
But I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, here, like in this spot, I don't see why we don't take Red Dragon. Okay, so we passed the next one. And now we're just using it as guaranteed save tile. So it is going to work out for us in terms of just not dying. Because Shimmer is locked and loaded over there. And we don't want to be the one in firing range. We don't want to catch any strays. Yeah, at this point, we are just big scared. 2. White Dragon was not... Oh, I guess it was. Yeah, it was. Never mind. I'm getting too excited. 2 of bamboos, my next go. 7 was not safe. Like, it wasn't Gembutsu safe compared to what you have here.
Sumo.
And Shimmer just... Alright, Sumo's it. Fair enough. Alright, my bad. Cool. That's a little Mahjong for them. Good for them. Okay, unfortunately, we cowered our way out of our dealer. Not the worst thing in the world, but it's a little unfortunate. So, right now, at this juncture, I want Lincolm to go back to our game just like we saw previously with markinore and take a note out of what they're doing with their honor tiles. And this is something that I did myself for a very long time, and I know a lot of other players do it, where as soon as they see like their honor, like the honor tile that they have in hand, like cut once or twice, they're like, okay, now I'm just going to cut it myself, and then that'll just be it. But you can hold on to it for a little longer if you want to like try to have some safety down the road. Like, for example, like you could potentially like face check these. I guess you're gonna feel a little bad for it if you do draw it, which is like the kind of the other hand on it. But like, for example, you could drop this 9 of you could drop this 9 potentially. Is that right? You need exactly like the 7 and 8 for it to work. You definitely drop the 9 if you don't have this 6 complete. Because this 6 sequence is already done, because like then you're already accepting the 7. So this 9 definitely has a little bit more value than it normally would. Okay, but now we have our pair. Yeah, and Green Dragon got cut, so I guess we're basically off of it. Okay, they seem to be incorporating what I just talked about now. So they see that all 3 souths are played, so they're holding on to it as a safety tile. Except now they get rid of it. Let's see. How many blocks do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is like kind of floating. So we're trying to figure out like what our last block is going to be. But the blocks that we have are like not that fantastic. Ooh, huge. Okay, now we cut the 9. Okay, so now we're just waiting on close 4. And so we're each on 10, trying to wait on 7 characters and then 4 bamboo. You know, a bunch of close waits, but not the worst. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that 8 cut that early. Because, like, are you actually going to be using this 4? Like, there's a level of efficiency that you want to go for. But after a certain point, especially around 2nd row, you need to be asking yourself, am I going to actually be using this 4 of dots in my... Like, what does my winning hand actually look like? And at this point, the closest route is 7 of characters and, like, 4 of bamboo. And at this point, you're not really looking at flexibility for your hand. You're kind of... like, if you're Ishanten, your hand, for the most part, is kind of locked in. So you're not looking to, like, move around and pivot, try to be, like, maximum, like, acceptance, as it were. So you're not really ever using this 4. So you want to cut it earlier so it's less dangerous. Say, like, you don't get into, like, say it's like 4 more tiles before you pick up the 7 of characters or the, you know, the tile that, or the 4 bamboo, the tile that you need to be in Tenpai. This 4 drop in the 3rd row is way scarier than, like, dropping it now. So I probably would have, like, held on to the 8, especially because, like, it's gonna be safe against Toyman. That's, like, a thing to consider. Yeah, we'd, like, cut it anyway. I don't even know if I like cutting it now. We do have a pretty wide weight on it. Oh wow, we're just completely out of it. Crazy. Ooh. Kind of a bit of a backfire there. 5 is a little it's fine against the Ricci player and, like, basically everyone else, so it's fine. Okay, East was 1 cut, twice cut. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, Ida Pawn G just clears up that one. Oh, what? Bruh. You cut these, right? Alright, we'll see how much Lincolm watches Navitas' stream. A 5 discard out the gate? That's scary. I mean, our hand's kind of scary too, but I'm a little worried about Toyman over there. No, that's wrong. No, you gotta cut these. I guess South was like once cut, so it's like less good, but like this could be Honitsu. This is like such a Honitsu hand. Never mind. Okay, shows what I know. I would have gotten punished. So then you're just like East Dragons and that's like it. Okay, yeah, West was like double cut, which is a little unfortunate. So
not that good. Only 3 blocks start. It's a slow hand.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay, and someone reached these slams, so now we're just like folding it out. Yeah, it looks like we're just big dodgers. I don't think we're gonna make them. I don't think we're gonna make a move here to try to like get out from under this hand. Ooh, damn, this is juicy too. Okay, 4 was fine.
Reach.
And then Ricci, drop the 7, follow up. And the 9 is the only safe thing that we have. Okay, 6 is free. Yeah, we're just gonna follow suit, and we're just folding it out. Fair enough.
勝利は自分の手で掴まなきゃ。リーチ、ズモ、ドラ、ドラに。
Oh wow, they got big on the Underdora.
ガンガン。
So it looks like their hand was just like really close to complete out the gate because they got rid of the 5. So they must have had all those bamboo and character sequences like basically set up from the get-go. Okay, this hand could potentially be nutty. Ooh. I don't know if I like that 7 drop. Let me see. So what's like the best case scenario for this hand? It's like call White Dragon Sanshoku. Or like White Dragon's like pair. Like this Ryeonmin's pretty good. You like maybe could be a little degenerate and drop the 6. That's kind of degenerate. I don't know if I like that actually. I don't know if I like that 7 though. Oh, you don't call White Dragon? If you don't call White Dragon, what's your plan for this hand? Like, I don't see the vision.
G.
Okay. Going for a little bit of efficiency then. Okay, yeah, but unfortunately White Dragon, it's like White Dragon into nothing. Although, we suddenly got our Sanshoku chance back. But we don't have our pair unless like we're gonna commit White Dragon to pair. Ooh, okay. I would have gotten punished really hard. Cut? Oh, huh. So cut's a 6, which means our 7 over here is the pair. We have too many blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have like way too many blocks. So we need to cut 1. None of them are like that appealing to cut. Ooh, okay. So we're gonna cut white for safety. And now, yeah, that's basically what we have to do. Got the triple? Okay, that's interesting. So now we're on this double open weight. Okay. For just like Tanyao. It's not even Tanyao because of that. It's just like Richi no Mi.
おめでとう。
Okay.
タイヤをドラ。
Okay. I'm gonna there's like an ad break, so I'm gonna wait for that for a second. We're gonna wait like 30 seconds for that. But I'm gonna stop right here for a second because I have some thoughts about Lincolm's play. And ideally, me talking about these players and my players' plays hopefully helps people who are also watching this to like think about their play down the line. Because even though I am not at like the fantastic level, I am watching a lot of different players at various levels. I am noticing differences. So for Lincolm, I think the issue that they're running into is that they're not actually evaluating what their hand could be at the start of the hand. So there is like an efficiency formula that you should be following that like everyone kind of follows as like the, you know, it's the script as I call it. It's like the most optimal way that you can do it in terms of just like mathematically efficient. But if you're just doing that, there are hands that you can make that don't follow that logic. You can't efficiency your way to a Sanshoku or like a 7 pairs or something like that. So I don't know if Lincolm is doing this, but when you're getting your opening hand, you should be asking yourself, okay, what is like the maximum, what is like the biggest value that I can go for with this starting hand? And should I go for it? And how do I get to it? Because you could like potentially go for like a Sanshoku in certain direction. But if you are just going to play efficiency, you're going to, depending on how things go, you're going to get to third row and you have a Richi no Mi, and that's all you have going. It's like a wide weight potential acceptance, but it's not worth anything. At that point, it's not even like worth it. And you might push it, and then you're going to deal into a much more Poggy's hand compared to anyone else. So that is the takeaway that I want Lincoln to get from this game. Is you got to also think about the value, not just the efficiency. And then once you determine what your value is going to be, then you can play the routes of efficiency. Because I'd rather you like fail at assembling a really Poggy's hand than successfully get to a like. I'd rather you go for a Tempai on a really crazy hand that's worth a lot of points than efficiently get to Richinomi. Oh, but while I'm talking about this, oh wow, this is nuts. What is this? Let's take a moment to look at this. Okay. Not quite Itsu chance. Because right now we're kind of headless. Unless we like drop this. We need to get 4 or 7 right here to just be in like a really good like Pinfu Tempai. That's like all we got. But we could get there. Drops it. Ooh, I don't know if that's okay. So they recognize what I just said, that the 3 is currently their pair, but dropping the 2 that early, I don't know if I agree with that. It has to be the North, right? What do you care? If someone gets it, someone gets it.
Boom.
Yeah. Okay, but that puts you on sus. Because they just called their Seat Wind, or they're not Seat Wind on that. And based on their discards, they're probably holding on to all these characters. So now I want to hold on to all of my characters for the entire hand. And now not having this 2 means that I'm less likely to incorporate all of my characters into a winning hand.
Unwanted guests in his house.
I know. Yeah, basically. Oh, okay. 7 was actually perfect. Oh, wow. We don't slam? We don't slam this? Twice cut. I guess it's 2 on each. Oh, I guess it's 2 tile. Yeah, it's only 3 tiles. Yeah, 3 of the 9s have been cut. Oh, wait. 3 of each of... Oh, wait. Okay, this is actually a really bad slam. Never mind. You know, when they have hints on, you know, they're easier to make this decision than me that I have to, like, deduce it. Yeah, this is not a good Ricci slam. Oh, it changes up the weight to, like, potentially open themselves up to move over here. And I do like not reaching, because the moment I draw a character tile that isn't like the 6 or the 8 that they drawn, I want to fold it. I want to fold the hand. Oh. Not feeling the 5? The 7 and 3 weight was a better weight, right? Than just like waiting for this final 6. Like, if you how does 5 kill you? Oh, okay. I know what you're afraid of. So what Shimmer could have is like a triple of Souths in their hand, and those Dora. You haven't seen any of the Souths yet, so maybe that's something that you're worried about, which is reasonable. But considering all the cuts that they made, and Shimmer like turn 1 cut the 6 of dots, 5 is fine. 5 is most definitely fine. Yeah, because Matsumoto just got rid of it. So it could be on like, I'd much rather be on like 7 3 of character, like 3 of characters, 7 dots weight than just waiting for this single 6.
67 SSK.
Okay, then I take back everything. You're right. I didn't see SSK. All right, I take it all back. Yeah, it is 1 chance.
Boom.
So like maybe you get there.
G.
It is like a hidden Sanchoku. So that's very reasonable. It is only 1 chance, but you know, we can hit these. I've seen some 1 chance hits in my time. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna push for it. Oh, we would have won there. Yeah, that's okay. Now we're just being safe and we cut characters. See, and that's just a bit to get into Tempai.
Before they have Yaku.
Goodbye.
Now they can win.
Oh wait, Shimmer didn't even have anything. They probably had like South. And Matsumura's weight was kind of goated. Okay, so now that brings up a very interesting
Yaku.
argument. Oh, you didn't have Yaku otherwise. You're right, because you were waiting on 987. Yeah, you didn't have Yaku otherwise. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, they had to go for that. That's... Yeah, okay. That's fair. You don't have Yaku. Sanshoku is your only Yaku. I do... Yeah, I guess that's the line you just have to take. It's not the best. It's not, like, the most likely line, but it is there. Yeah, for some reason I thought they had Tanyao. But yeah, that 789 sequence kind of kills it. So yeah, that's what they had to do. All right, never mind then. I take that back. Thank you, chat, for keeping me honest. It's been a long day. Okay, now we're in South 1, halfway through this game.
Chi.
Okay, just trying to play as efficiently as we can.
Pong.
You cut. Huh. Huh, interesting. Like, I get the logic of trying to cut the 7 now. Or, like, earlier. But you could have done that with his North discard. I'm curious why the second one made them change their mind. Just interesting. Shimmer's hand does not look that valuable right now. They have a triple. They have like a sequence over here. They've cut a bunch of middle tiles within their suits. Like, unless they got some pocket honors, maybe they might have some Dora with them, but otherwise their hand is not looking too crazy. I guess, okay, so Lincolm is actually now doing the thing that I was mentioning earlier. We're holding on to these save tiles up until the very end. And we are Ishan 10. We pick up 2 of dots. That's just like the best case. It looks like we're going to use North as our final Tenpai discard. Damn, we could have the triple. Doesn't do anything, so it's whatever. And Matsumura just gonna deal it into Shimmer. Wait. Oh, they had 3 Dora right there. That was the scary thing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it's always scary if they had Dora, but there was a very good chance that they had a lot of Dora, especially if they're gonna call, like... Shimmer is a higher rated player, so you probably won't expect them to call an open hand unless it's worth multiple Han. Like, it's worth at least like 3 to 4 Han. So they're not gonna just, you know, call willy-nilly just to like get a 1 Han Tanyao, even though it is their dealer. They're gonna go for a little bit more than that. So you have to probably respect that they have Doras or something else up their sleeve. That is only if you are paying attention to like your opponent's rank, and you're paying attention and respecting your opponents. We're just I mean, those East we don't care about, because rather those be South, but whatever. Okay, 2's fine. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess, and this is now pair. This is potentially our Pinfu pair. But yeah, I guess 2 is fine. Okay, huge. Oh, I don't know if I like that 4 cut. I don't think you cut 4 there. Like, what are you trying to do? You now have 2 mate blocks. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess you're trying to trim out blocks, but you still like kind of far away. I don't know if I like that 4 drop. I'm just gonna drop the other 3. Interesting. Yeah, the discard order kind of feels a little all over the place at this point. Like, these discards don't scream, I have a plan. I have a confident plan at all. I mean, we still got their Ishan 10.
Reach.
And now we have 2 safe discards. We did technically pick up like pairs everywhere else, like other spots. We're probably just gonna fold this one out. Yeah, 8 was fine. It's just 2 is the only safe one. Yeah. 2 and then like 7 of bamboo for last tile. 6 of characters is also good.
Note.
Oh, 7 of bamboo would have... Damn, I would have died. I would have died. Let the record show. Let the record show. I died. I'm not afraid to post my L's. Because I have way more L's than I have W's, and I gotta get content up there. Also, I think if I had like more timer instead of just like immediately draw discarding, like within the second that this is going, I probably would have solved the 6 and got rid of that. I'm gonna try to give myself that much credit. I'm gonna try. Oh, that was... Oh, wow. Hang on. This is interesting. Okay. So we cut 4 here? I don't know, Chief. 1, 2, 3. That's like 3 pairs. That 4 shape is like less good. You're probably not cutting the 1, 2.
Hello.
You're probably not
You
cutting
won't
this.
see me in Uliag for a while since I already reached my min/max of games and I need to give my teammates a turn.
That's fair. Is that just like how your scheduling went? Also, how's it going very well? Yeah, ours is relatively even throughout all the weeks. I think at the longest time anyone goes without playing is like 2 weeks, and that's only like once. Otherwise, everyone's like roughly rotating the same. I guess you do have double sounds, so maybe you want to greed that. I don't know if I like this 4. Maybe you just like cut the south there. You are double south, so it's like worth more if you hold on to it. Okay, but like now you cut it on like here. Okay, well, we get that over there. That's pretty good. Ishan 10, technically.
I played 3 weeks in a row, then Rochester, then 1 more week last week.
Oh, wow, that's nuts.
Pong.
Are you gonna be at Richie Nomi?
We save our best player for the last 2 weeks.
Pong.
Oh wow. Ediponji is going hard. Damn, look at all those calls. Spoiler for our team schedule. We do set it all up already.
Yeah, I will be at Raikkonomi Open.
Oh hell yeah. See you there. Small spoiler for those here. I don't know if people are actually gonna snipe me on it. No, I'll save it. Oh damn, we dealt in. What was that? Okay, I got distracted. What even happened there? Okay, it wasn't that bad of a deal in, but what even happened here? Okay, so we dropped double 9. Everything's kind of going fine right here. Drop the 2, that gets eaten up. We drop a 1 of characters. This could have been 7 pairs. All right, 3 gets gobbled up. And then Ricci, drop a 1. Oh, it's just east here. It's like just east here, right? Yeah. Okay. That's not the one that dealt in. Okay. 2 wasn't even that appealing. Okay, we dropped 3. Oh, I see what happened. Because we dropped the 3, this is basically like gone. And so we pushed 2. Are we even like in the mindset of completing this? Like, Toyman called twice. We have Dealer Ricci. If we're under Dealer Ricci, at this point, I might just be like full folding. We were fortunate that it wasn't that big of a hit. But like, the 2 wasn't even safe against Shimmer over there. I mean, the only thing that I can think of is like, okay, they dropped 4 of characters kind of early, so like maybe they're not in that area. But we had more guaranteed safety if we really wanted it. Ooh, okay. Okay. Can we just like pick up these white and green dragons and just call it a day? Yeah, there we go. Finally, we're calling dragons. Feel good. Yeah, let's just try to get this dealer repeat going. Call these tiles. Okay, yeah, I agree with this. Oh, let's go. We were saying that, yeah, if we're gonna be efficient about this, it was actually the 3 of bamboos, because these 6s, like we could pick up, like we're gonna have to discard 2 tiles anyway, and then we could potentially pick up like a 5 over here, or like an 8, like a 5 or 8 to complete those sequence, and then we're on like a pure double sequence. We're not gonna get the points for it because we're open, but at least that puts us like in a wider acceptance on Tempai. We're not feeling too bad about that 4. Ooh, rip 5. Ooh. Yeah, this is hard. Yeah, this was an interesting situation that they were in. Because they're trying to greed both of these both of these Doras. But now they're gonna have to, in order to do it, they either have to pick up another tile to like form the sequence. Lincolm. You agree with this? It is definitely a little greedier, but you could have dropped the 7 there, and then you would have been in like a wider way for Tempai.
Cut 6p before. I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, you already cut it. You weren't gonna make it a triple, so like you're on like a 5/8 over here. I don't know if I do.
Reach.
Okay, well, 3 was scary. Oh, 3 was very scary against that Ricci. That could have been a pot suit. Oh, now we're doubled. Oh, that's hard. That's very hard. What would I do in this spot? I guess maybe 7 here? Yeah, 7. It's the only thing you got. It's like guaranteed against 1. You just have to hope it's not a pot suit. I mean, well, it passed, so you're fine. Yeah, what am I talking about? 7 just passed. Oh, damn, they just get the 3 of characters just naturally? That's right. Shimmer was on a tear this game. Okay, this was Matsumura's chance to try to come out from this negative. Ooh, look at this. Headless Ishanten? Here we go, Ishanten. Oh, is that? You could have cut the 4. Oh yeah, I remember we were talking about. Okay, so
that was bad.
Yeah, you could have cut the 4 to potentially go for Sanshoku.
I would cut 4M.
Yeah, you cut 4M here. I guess the argument is, if you don't feel confident in Sancho, I mean, you're still... Yeah, no, that was just bad. Yeah, you just went back a step. Yeah, that was actually just, like, awful. Oh, you hate to see it. I guess their thought is they want to, like, lock in their pair with this 7, and then they're eventually going to drop the 8 with the idea of completing this 2 and trying to get this close weight over here. but you're probably better off of just...
For MPLS.
Yeah.
This is rewarded by bad play.
Yeah, they did get unpunished here. Which is like, you know, sometimes that happens. Oh. Oh, right. Oh, God. This one was fucking crazy. Oh, I remember this hand. Now I remember this hand. This is one we actually got to see. My thought at the time of this is they were dropping this 2-3 to try to force Tanyao and like have that guaranteed and be not in Furisen potential. And also potentially try to get Sanshoku with like 5, 6, 7. Oh my God. That's right. They just did not get punished here. This isn't Tenpai, right? No. 4, 5, 6. No, it's Ishan 10.
Chi.
Okay, yeah, now they cut that 4. Now they have to like wait on the 4 or 6 of bamboo to complete it out. Then kind of get a little punished, but like not really. You probably weren't going to make that a 4. You probably weren't going to make that a 2, 3, 4. Okay, pick up the next 4. Nuts.
Oh, there's the punish actually.
Yeah, they could have like, if they kept the 4, no, they weren't going to keep that 4. What punish are you seeing? Okay, now, oh, what was that?
The 3P draw from earlier.
Oh yeah, the 3P. Yeah, that could have been their pair. And then they've been like on a better spot. Oh, okay. So now they're in Tenpai. And they did get 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku. That's right. Okay, that's right. That's right. It took me a while to see this during the live broadcast too. But now they're on a single Tonki weight with a 3-so. And they have a Sansoku lined up with Tanyao, which is really good. Oh, that's a little unfortunate. That's actually very unfortunate. They just did not get lucky there. That's right. They didn't. That's right. They damaed until they decided not to. What was I watching? They waited so long to slam that Riichi. And if they had waited one turn more, they would have gotten the Apatsu. I don't know why. I don't know why they decided that was the time to pull the trigger. But they were like one bit too short. You know what?
Gets friggin' rewarded, LOL.
I know. Yeah, this one just goes to show that Mahjong is a very fun game. And anything can truly happen. And like, you can make no mistakes and lose. And you can make every mistake under the sun and still win the game. Mahjong's kind of crazy like that. That's why I love it. It's not quite solved. I would say Mahjong is about like 80% solved. Okay, what are we doing with this last South 4?
There's no way to solve this madness. Look at Sylvie. Has a high Naga score, still gets 3rd.
I don't believe in our Naga overlords. Naga, a lot of times Naga lacks context. And context is very important. Okay, what are we doing here? Just like kind of being loosely efficient and just like not getting anywhere, sadly. Drawing nothing but like honor tiles. You hate to see it in terminals. Yeah, I finally get rid of that red dragon. Yeah, there's nothing to say about this hand. We just kind of played fairly efficiently and just got... Look at this. Can't really talk much about this one. Ooh, okay. Drops the 2 of characters? Really? Huh. Yeah. We're so far away, though. We have so many blocks. And we didn't deal in, so
2分
good
タ
for
イヤ
us.
を
Oh yeah, this was a really close one. They were 500 points. Like first place was 500 points away from each other for a good while. And 8 upon G pulling ahead a little bit, but because they're dealer on that last one, they're gonna have to go for another one. God, yeah. For those who are watching this for the first time and may not be familiar with the tournament rules, one, as you can see, going negative does not end the game.
To quit, LOL.
I know, they could be like, "No, I'm good." Yeah, going negative does not bust you, as you've seen that I did not point out when this happened. Also, the game does not end if dealer wins. They continue on all last. If dealer wins and like gets first place, they continue a streak. It's to give everyone else the same streak, and also it's relevant because we're not ladder where we only care about placing. These points add to the overall score of the league. So we want to give players opportunities to, go big and rank up the points. But
sometimes that last dealership backfires pretty badly because of this.
Exactly. Where you just want to get your win and get out. You're not trying to farm points. And you have the potential to lose it because Shimmer over here could just like get a big win in. You're just basically giving them like a freebie. 7 is okay. Oh, that's great. That was a great draw. Is there an argument to instead of that 7 you drop the 4? So like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're still trying to figure out your last block, and you're not sure if this is like going to be a pair. I don't know. Like, maybe I give up this shape a little too easily, and it's actually a better shape than I give it credit for. Honestly, something that I should do is go back on Ricci Book 1 and like give it a reread, because I haven't read it since I did the lessons with Wrath when I was like expert 1 over a year ago. So now that I have a lot more Mahjong under my experience, I've done a lot of commentary, I've played a lot of games. I now have a better context on it.
Special here, but someone else might have different opinion.
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and like Ricci Book 1 to like kind of look at it.
Tanyeo maybe.
Yeah, but you don't have your pair yet. So you're probably going like headless, like you're probably just going with like a headless shape. Oh, I meant you meant Pinfu. Never mind. I got Pinfu and Tanya mixed up like I do. Oh, you dropped the. Oh, yeah. So this is getting to the point where, that 4 is now locked in our hand because of the Ricci. So we had to like give up a really good weight to just ensure that we don't deal in. I mean, this is like, honestly, at this point, as long as we don't deal in, it doesn't matter what we do. We're not going to get enough points to like do a position change, and we don't want to like push it. So this is kind of that like it's already. Oh wow! Why? Oh wait, we slammed that? Why did? What? What? You? Wow! Wow! We did that? We slammed that Ricci like it was nothing.
Points, I guess.
Slam for points, but we were so. Oh, that was so friendly.
Welcome to the stream. It's not like you will get 4th.
Yeah, but that was so friendly. And I'd rather have
Mark.
like 20k. I'd rather come out of this with 20k than 12k. That was so friendly.
Hello,
though. I'm gonna conclude that Lincoln owed Shimmer like a money in a bet or something, and that's how he paid it off. Because that was very friendly. Very friendly. Also, how's it going, Mark?
He dropped 4p
yeah.
way too late.
Yeah, I guess he's just like kind of winning and is like, come on and slam. If I had a bit of advice for Lincoln is don't just play the efficiency game. try to actually think about what your winning hand wants to form out to and play towards that instead of just like playing pure efficiency, because you're gonna efficiency your way.
Oh good, I missed my own review.
Yeah, you did. Your review was 10. Like there was one bit I was curious about. I actually am very curious about it. I am gonna bring it back up.
Well,
I don't remember where it
LOL.
was. You did do very well. I mean, you won your game, so I mean, who am I to complain? Where was it? It was like,
You prevented Zell from coming back.
let's see, where was it? It's not here. Oh, okay, here it is. This 8 discard, what was the thought behind it? Take a minute to like look over and like gather your thoughts and like kind of get your back in this headspace and see if you like still agree with it. Would you do this 8 disc? Like, what was your logic behind this 8 discard, and would you do it again? This is the only, like, out of all of your hands for this game, this is the one that I was like sus on. This is the only one. So if that goes to show how well you did, I am curious about this one. I would have like just thrown it into the group chat, but I forgot to take the screenshot about it and I didn't want to go back. But now that you're here, you can answer the question. And you know us, we love to share information here. Oh yeah, it's a bit of a thinker.
Yeah, probably wrong, lol.
Okay. All right, cool.
KKW.
There you go. See,
I
this
didn't
is
want to open, so I kept Chiatoya Shanton. I would cut west.
yeah, because like I understand trying to tunnel on like Chitoy, but if you're gonna tunnel on Chitoy, you probably should have like decide to do so like a turn ago.
Mark doesn't know close toy. But yeah, this is just west.
Yeah, is it just west? Okay, cool. All right, this is the only one I had a question on. Oh yeah, and for your benefit, where is it? Where is it? It was east.
Or fold lol.
Where is it? There we go. I don't know if you saw this, but this was fantastic. We're gonna open up the whole hand. So we're gonna look. Okay, so Zell here has a pretty banger of a hand. And then he calls this. He calls the red dragons. And this hand's pretty well set up. I was just going to play it out, because the scroll wheel is being weird.
I was on alert from turn 1 after 5 seconds cut.
Oh, yeah.
Friggin' 7 Han opening.
I figured you were, because you were playing this very well. But he called that, and he's like Tenpai for the double south, which you're holding on to for dear life. And spoilers later on, we'll just like move ahead. You pick up the 9 of characters as well, and so you completely shut out their hand. Yeah, he conned and hit. He conned that red dragon.
Come.
And he hit with his pocket triple on east. This would have sent someone to the Shadow Realm. And you single-handedly denied Zell this banger of a hand. I just want you to see this and enjoy it. And
Now
like, I don't know, print it and like put it in your room or something. In case you have like a bad day, you could just like look at it and it'll make you smile. I mean, this would make me smile. It doesn't make Zell smile. Zell is molding at this.
Really unfortunate for him. The other players probably don't notice.
Yeah, considering that Honeyaboo just like Riichi slams here. Like, this is hella dangerous. You are the key. You single-handedly
like by the wall.
kept it out. Yeah, you single-handedly kept Zell off of this. Normally, like in these situations, like the tiles that this very dangerous player is waiting on is like kind of spread out across multiple players. And it's kind of like a 50-50 whether like they're using those dangerous tiles in their hand or they're going to like give them up or lose. You single-handedly kept this man at bay. You're the hero we needed and not the one we deserved. And Zell deals in there.
I think they were very likely to jam it if the others drew it.
Yeah, if anyone else drew it, they were gonna probably drop it and then die to Zell. Like, there was like one tile. It was a one tile difference.
Poor
If
guy.
like Onibu draws it, they probably drop it. Yeah. All right, but I wanted you to see that. Okay, but that was the only thing I had really on that hand. Otherwise it was fun. Otherwise you did great. 10 out of 10. No notes besides that one. Let's see. Let's close these back up. Get over to Zeke. Oh, look at that. Super powerful Ichihime. All right, let's send it.
Boom.
Oh, South out the gate. Wait. Shimmer play 2? Did Shimmer play 2 games? It looks like they did. Yeah. I guess one of their players were like
Shimmer
absent.
played 2, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see if Shimmer can single-handedly carry their team out from the depths of hell.
Oh.
All right, we got some honors being played from everyone else, and everything's going fast. At this point, I'm very scared of Shimmer going half flush because they dropped all these like middle tiles super early. Oh, and they dropped the green dragon, then immediately drew the next one. You hate to see it. But at this point, all the characters stay in my hand for the rest of the hand. It definitely ruins our chances of winning, but I don't want to deal into this and that be the start. Ooh, okay. Not bad.
2M.
Oh yeah,
Have
now
to
we can do
take the
2M.
chance to get rid of it.
Yeah, now we need to do 2M.
Myra brave.
Yeah, Myra very brave, very friendly. Okay, we see it now. Although now we could have potentially used it. Because like now we have like 2 close weight. Or like we have the open weight over here and we could potentially like grab it on the 3. It is useful. Though... Although, yeah, there's just too much danger going on right now for me to like care to push. Like, East is scary. Every character in the world is scary. Like, I just kind of want to be out of this hand. I don't want to do anything with it. I just fold. I fold at this point. I'm big coward. Okay, now the East got revealed, so that's free. Though this is still, like, not going to form out. I mean, as long as we don't drop characters. Ooh, the 3 was the overflow.
Tsumo.
Neat. Damn, we played around it and they still got it. You hate to see it. Nothing too great with this hand. That helps a bit. Okay, that helps a lot, actually. That's a little unfortunate over there. Not the worst. Oh wow, we got punished. I was kind of thinking to myself, I don't know if I want to cut those blocks immediately. Like, yeah, we had the 5, 6, 7 block like done. But if we do pick out that like 9 over, like if we do pick up the 8, then that sequence is like pretty decent. Although it's not the best because it's still only just like a 5, 6 like open weight.
Boom.
So I guess, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, looks like we're going to cut the 7, 9 block to try to get into Tanyao. Okay, yeah. That's twice now we've had this block. The 2, 4, 4, 5, and we just like cut it completely. Which is like not bad. But it's one of those, now we're in one of those situations where it's like, okay, we're going to cut this 2-4 block. It's better to cut the 4 now before anything else. Are we each on 10? We actually are. But we might be on like 3 so or Sancho, Dora, meme weight. Ooh, okay. Fold him. Zeke will definitely immediately fold to Ricci.
Your team missed the chance to farm Hades.
G.
Yeah, we did. Well, I mean, Shimmer's been trying to bring him out from under hell. Hades has to descend to the lowest level of hell if they're gonna do the run to make it back to Olympus. They're very in character. Okay, now we're just gonna disassemble our hand to make sure we're not dealing in. Fair enough.
It's easy to farm them before you know they need to push.
Okay, now we have a dealer. Let's see what we do with it. Ooh. Oh man, if we could just like get this 4 of dots, that would just make everything so much easier. Oh, just give us 4 dots. Oh, slam? We'll get it. Yeah, that's fine. I like this Ricci. You don't have any upgrades besides like picking up the 6, but that's like kind of whatever. And turn 5 dealer Ricci. Yeah, just get it. You'll probably sumo. And yeah, like there. We just sumo it. Oh, we missed on under. It's unfortunate. I don't really like Ichihime that much, or like at all. I will say she does have very banger outfits. Okay. We have some shiny red 5s. Good to see. Okay, that 2-3-4 sequence was a good setup. Ooh. Oh, huh. I don't like that 1 drop because we're definitely killing some acceptance for like trying to get this 2 as this pair, which is like not even a good pair. I would have not dropped that 1. Why does the scroll wheel go so far back? Okay. I think it is cutting the 2, honestly. Yeah, I think I like
yeah.
Yeah, because I want to cut the 2. Because I want to hold on to this whole shape. Because I want to know if I pick up the 3 or 7 of bamboo so I can cut the other side. So I have that really wide weight. So this needs to stay as is. And this is just kind of killing acceptance for like a tile. And like, yeah, okay, that is definitely the takeaway that I want to give for both Lincolm and Zeke is they're seeing their first pair and then hard committing to that pair instead of like trying to play a little bit more efficiently for acceptance and just finding the pair later. Pairs are not that hard to get, honestly. And they're great weights too. I love waiting on pairs. They're so tricksy. And against like Mira and Shimmer, you're gonna need to do something tricksy to get them. See, look at that. We just got our pair. Yeah, I much have her rev. Oh, okay. Well, so because of that, now we're just Tanyao? Tanyao. Sad. Friendly. Oh well.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fine. That was just a little unfortunate
Nice
how it played out.
Pepe laugh.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate we gave it to them. But we have our Seat Wind in pocket. We just call it and then just like move on. That's pretty cool. I'm down with that. It's the one here. Yeah, it's the one here. So or it could have like been this one. This floating 9 is actually better than you give credit for. Cause let's just look at this. Let's go back to it. I do see a lot of players do this. So oh wait, did they already drop the red dragon? Okay, yeah, okay,
no
whatever.
chi there. They would deal in.
So this 9 gives you entire acceptance on that entire north, like high end side of the dots, where this 1 is redundant. The 4 is accepting all the tiles that the 1 is. So this is like, this 1's doing nothing for you. Same can be said about this 1 here, but it's doing a little bit more work than otherwise. Cause like say you pick up the 5, like you could potentially be waiting on the 2 or like the 7 over there is like kind of your choice. But the 9 is valuable if you don't have the 6 at all. Because otherwise you're like, you don't know how this hand is going to form out truly. So you want to try to like give yourself as much acceptance as you can. I like to look at these hands as like a net. In this beginning parts, you want to cast the widest net as possible, especially if you really don't know what direction you're going to go. So having 1 tile be as spread out as you can to to catch more tiles is like a better spot that you want to be in. Mahjong is like fishing, is what I'm saying. Okay, there we go. Well, worked out. First row, no one's dropping a north. That's... Okay, that 3 drop is fine. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's a little unfortunate, but it's not that bad. Ooh, okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay, Reachy Slam. Do we just immediately fold? Oh, we chase. Let's go. Oh. That's hard though. Oh god, we do a Reachy chase for just a close 5 for Nomi? Like it's Reachy red 5. That's it. I don't know about this one. Chief. Especially because like we threw a dangerous. No, it just passed. I'm really monk-assing about this one. Imagine. Aw. Oh, there's norths. The other one's in the wall, isn't it? We're gonna look at it afterwards.
Chi.
Okay, and now we're just gonna like be feeding everyone else. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, where is that north? Oh, it was coming eventually. But yeah. I don't know if I like that Reachy. Like, okay. Like the chase, like the idea is that maybe Toyman on their Reachy will deal in. But like we can also deal in for like no value. We almost got we could have gotten the after con though. That would have been Poggies. This hand sucks. This hand got a little better. But overall this hand's not that good. Yeah, we're gonna call these Dagron. This is a spot where like probably the 8 is, or not the 8, the 9 is a better cut than these dragons. Yeah, the 9's a better cut. Yeah, because that's the rule, Zeke. I need you, if you're watching this eventually, that I need you to take away from this. This 9 is way less valuable than this red dragon because you have this 6 here that is accepting the same tiles as this 9. Okay, you do it, but it's like a turn too late. You could have drawn like that. Like your next tile could have been red dragon. You would have felt very, very silly. Although I don't like the spot that they're in. It's just like their hand. I don't like that 9 cut. I don't like this 1, 2, 3 sequence and like holding on to the extra 1 is awful. I hate like this is a awful shape because like you're only picking up the 4 and then like you just cut your 8 acceptance and you could have just had like a completed shape over there. And the unfortunate thing is that you kind of have to hold on to this shape in its entirety before you know like what direction to go. You do have an option for Sanshoku on 1, 2, 3, but I don't think that's enough reason to like hold on to this 1 of characters. Yeah, I would cut the 1 of characters here instead of the 9. Ooh, content? Okay, now how this worked out, this order doesn't matter. Like I would have cut the 9 there at that point. Okay. Yeah, we're just trying to dodge dealer Ichi and we're just dodgers.
Long.
Didn't have to dodge long. Damn, Himeko going to town. We get to see this skin a lot. I don't like to fawn over the waifus, but this character here got a lot going for it that I like.
Absorbed.
I like the color scheme. I like the blonde. I like the outfit. And apparently it's giving them a lot of flow as well. So they also got that going for it. This hand's actually really sweet though. Damn, we're Ishan 10. Potential pure double sequence on the 6, 7, 8.
They say in her bio that she's undefeated on the Mahjong table.
I mean, she's proven it here. Was that missed? Huh. Do you cut that? Wait. Huh. Are you just cutting this block? This is actually kind of a hard shape. I guess. Yeah, I guess you do cut this shape. So the issue that I'm seeing is, yeah, you cut this shape and then you can like potentially go for like a pure double sequence over here. But now you have this like 3, 4 where you kind of want this to be your pair. Like you want this to be a sequence or making it a pair. I don't know. It just feels, this one's kind of a hard one, I think. If you cut the 2 instead, you're waiting on 5.
2M, I think.
Yeah, I think I like cutting 2 better here. Because, like, it's still keeping, like... You're still maintaining, like, the same steps. But I think it's kind of harder to go for. Because, like, you're kind of locked into this 5 right here. Unless you potentially get, like, something around here. Like, this could actually get upgraded to a open weight fairly easily. And then so if you get one of those, you can cut the other side. And what you can potentially do
standard play is cut 8M.
You cut 8M here. You have 2, 3, 4. I don't know if you cut 8M here.
It is. Manga
Yeah,
S.
you don't cut 8 here, because then you're losing out on pure double sequence chance. And like, yeah, you have to like potentially single Tonki because you like threw that out, but whatever. I like my single Tonki weights. It's great. You gotta do some, you know, a little bit more degeneracy, and like, I like the single Tonkis against good players because it's unpredictable. Yeah, it's less efficient, but people know efficiency. People play around efficiency. They can't play around inefficiency. Why do you think Whale got bodied in his game against all the adepts? You can't predict those. So yeah, I don't think I like cutting this shape because it could also potentially form out. Ooh, interesting. The plot thickens. It actually worked out
One
really well.
example is not good sample size.
It's good enough for the time that I have right now.
Is 8M even the most efficient?
Yeah, I don't even think 8M was even the most efficient. Oh well, that was that hand. This is this hand. I'm over it. Moving on to the next one.
MHI keeps downloading points.
Yeah, they're actually farming this table.
Pong.
All right, Mira gonna try to end it early. No.
That's Myra on the right. Yes?
Yeah, this is Mira. I only know it is because I know a little bit of Japanese, and I know these two middle ones. This is me, and this is Ra. And those are the two that I recognize as Mira.
That's Myra.
Okay, I wasn't even looking. We were too busy paying attention to Mira's name. I wasn't even looking what Zeke was doing, but it doesn't look like anything off. Trying to make an argument for manga and a draw is like all we got going right now. Oh, that's a call. That is a call. That's desperate. I don't like that call. Like, okay, let's bring it back a bit. Okay. The logic of calling here. We have enough tiles to try to force Tanyao, and because it's a close weight, it's going to be harder to achieve. So if we don't do it now, we're probably not going to get a chance to fill it out. Those are the arguments for it. The arguments against it is we have no fucking value and we are really far away. Something that I don't remember where I heard this from. It was probably chat or someone else. I don't remember. But a good rule of thumb that I actually really am liking is the number of calls you make for a hand should equal the Han of the hand that you're forming. So if you're making 2 calls to get 2 Han, or like 3, then it's like pretty good, it's fine. If you're needing to make 3 calls to get 1 Han, that's awful. And like kind of that mindset. With this call, and you have to drop this whole block, you are Ishan 10. I mean, you are potentially Ishan 10, but it's so hard to hit, and you're going to be exposing yourself. And you don't really have like good... Yeah, you don't have good ways to upgrade. Like, you're not near enough Dora. Like, even if you pick up the Dora, you're putting yourself in danger of foodie tanning yourself.
I was told something similar, Curly. Mine was about Shanton.
Shanton is definitely part of the equation. Oh, wow. That helps. That helped a lot. But I think I also like that, like, I like looking at it from a value perspective instead of just like a speed. If you're like specifically going for speed and like trying to get a hand going, then you can consider that.
I like yours better.
Yeah, I like that. I like it better because it's helping you assess risk versus reward as opposed to just like completing the hand. Because that, like, when you're calling, that's something you really need to consider is how much value are you potentially getting for how much you're risking yourself dealing in, because you're locking out 3 tiles that you can no longer use to like fold. I wish I could remember who told it to me. But ooh. Oh wow. Oh no. Oh god. Free Dora. Oh, oof. Yeah, we just like see, because yeah, this is the problem is
difference play style, both works.
Yeah, it's preference. But now that they called, they feel like they're in sunken costs at this point.
That middle 5 weight was unfortunate.
Yeah, was that like half Suji? I didn't even look at it. Let me go back. Nah, this is kind of scary. Committed. Yeah, that's the thing, is that if you're making this call, you're committing and you're like trying to go for a hand, and you're basically just playing single player, and you're gonna get smacked in the face. Like, it's a matter, it's also just a matter, like, yeah, caring about like Shanten and then value is also a point, but it's just a matter of just like calling that early when you're that far away and it's like not worth that much value, is you're really putting yourself in a pickle. And we don't like pickles. Pickles are gross.
Don't.
I think Zeke was just like feeling under the gun to like do something, but it was like, it was only South 1. They didn't need to do too much. But still not last place, so at least we got that going for us. Yeah, 2 is fine. Maybe I cut this. But you have like, what naughty? You have pure straight, E2 chance. It's a little punish though. We dropped that 2 too early. Yeah, 9's about right. Ooh, okay, nice. That's what we love to see. Is it the 5 there? Yeah, it's probably the 5. Yeah, we don't have our pair yet. But we can get there. We can find our pair somewhere.
Boom.
Like, we have 3 tiles that we're waiting on to potentially be our pair. Although, they've been mostly cut, so these probably won't be pair. Oh, there's our pair. Nice. Again with the... Ooh, another Ricci slam. Wow. Get wrecked, nerds. Well, you made up the points that you lost. Good job, Zeke. Okay. Okay. 3 a little ambitious, but I'm okay with it. Green over like 2? I don't know about that. Oh, okay. I don't know why we're holding on to this 2 for so long. Damn. Okay, there we go. All right, that's why we're holding on to this 2. I mean, we're still kind of accepting the 4. So it's about the same. Okay, we're gonna drop these west winds just to be safe. Sad, but I mean, we probably weren't gonna chase this, so what's the alternative actually? Against Ricci, you could like maybe just drop the 7 and then like also 4 if we're gonna go. No, that there's like 2 cut. Okay, yeah, that's way too much copium. Like, you drop the west there. What am I talking about? That just happens. Looks like we're just gonna fold it out. Although we do have some safety, so it's pretty good.
Reach.
Reach. No safety. 2? 2? I guess it's safe against dealer Ricci, so you got that going for it. It's not north there? They might be degens. I'd be more concerned about 2 dealing in than like north. Oh, we're going? Tempai. What's our tempai? 8-4. That's it. None of them has been played. But we have like that many. It's a bit to keep the dealer. I don't hate it. Let's do in tempai. Alright, we got some safety. We have like 2 dealers, 2 players that might like deal into it. Yeah, that's fine. I like it. I think that call is fine.
Reach. Sumo. Dora.
Okay, we're in an all last here. Sanchoku chance? Ooh, okay. That's how it's just done. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, no. I mean, we weren't going to draw that because we like dropped it, but oh. Yeah, that was not the play. Yeah, like if you have loose tiles, like hold on to Dora. This 6 doesn't do anything for you. Dora is a Dora.
Boom.
Especially because people can do that to you.
What is W League?
W League is a community ran tournament hosted by Wrath_SS. And it is a team league where we had like, what, 96 players? We have like 16 teams of like 6 players each. And we play 3 games a week. And then the the top 8 teams at the end of 10 weeks play in like a playoff. Today, it's every Sunday is when we play. We just did games earlier today, and I'm going through my team's games to like, do reviews and to kind of just like have it all available up on my YouTube. I'm doing this so I can make a YouTube video and post it on the YouTubes and come up with a cool thumbnail.
Chi.
Way
Ooh.
too dunk.
It is pretty sweet. I highly recommend, let me actually, if you're curious and you aren't already in Wrath's Discord, let me get you an invite to that real fast. One sec. There you go. You can use that one. And that'll take you over to Wrath's server. He is a Mahjong streamer. And I think he's actually, yeah, he's streaming right now, or he's going to be streaming soon. Cool. All right, let's get to the last one. Sanchoku chance, technically.
Long.
Oh. There's no way to see that one. Yeah, you got Dama Peen Food there. That happens. Okay. Yeah, I love a blue-white color scheme. What can I say? I like the gold trimmings
ZekeS
on
played
this.
well.
Honestly, ZekeS definitely played better than I've seen them play. They still need to be a little bit more patient. Their HP bar, their mental damage like bar is not that big. So when they take damage, like they run on empty a lot quicker than like other players. So they can get tilted fairly quickly and they get impatient. So they're definitely getting better, but part of getting better is me calling them out on it. So that's some of the bits in there they could have been a little bit more patient on. But overall, still definitely a better performance, and they're definitely getting better. And overall, we got a first place in 2/3. Markinore once again carrying the team on their back so far. Okay, so now that we're actually done with those games, let's actually look at the scores and how we're doing so far. Where is game scores? Where is it? Standing history. There are so many tabs. Standings. Okay, we're over here. We are sitting pretty at 8th place. So we are currently making the cut for top 8 with -2 points. I know, it's kind of crazy. Long Dong Gong, which is Overlord Wales team, just barely behind us by 2 points. So we're basically tied up at this point. Tilting Otakaze, gonna be the closest one for us to overthrow. But these numbers could change drastically. And if you don't believe me, just look at Ryosei no Kuni right here. They were also quite low. They were like about even with us, or kind of in the middle. They got 124 points in 1 week. 3 back-to-back first place in a week can really shoot up your team out from any negative. So we still have 4 weeks of gameplay left. Still plenty of opportunities for big movements. We've been kind of like middle of the pack for a good while now. So we need a good solid weekend to like really kind of like help push us above. And something I noticed previously, we can show this like standings over time bit, which is really cool. Where are we? Kami take the wheel? Yeah. We started out a little negative and then started climbing back up. And now we're just like kind of middle. But yeah, look at this. Look at Ryosei no Kun. They started out big and then dropped all the way to negative, but then in like 1 weekend made it all back up and then some. That's crazy. So it goes to show Mahjong, you can't predict it. There's so many things that can happen.